Hi, so today I want to talk about this piece of paper right here. Apparently it's called a roll number slip. Let's talk. Why do you even need this piece of paper and how do you get it? So apparently a lot of students haven't cleared their dues, which is why the dean committee had to sit down and think about this idea and think about, okay, so we don't have money, we don't have cash, how do we get cash from the students? So they sat down and came with this brilliant idea, the roll number slip idea. Here's how it works. So the students that have this piece of paper, they're allowed to sit in the exam, and the way you get this piece of paper is by clearing all of your dues. Once you do that, you get this piece of paper. You're allowed to sit in the exam. So if you want to sit in the exam, which you most probably do, then you have to have this, and to have this, you have to clear off all of your dues. Okay, so don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the students shouldn't pay their dues, they shouldn't clear off their dues, they shouldn't pay money, the university doesn't need money. If I'm saying that, I'd be stupid, because I know that every organization needs money, it needs fuel to keep going, to keep rolling. Then what am I advocating if I'm not advocating this? I'm against the way that they're taking their money. I mean, it's their money, of course. I understand that, but the way that they're doing it, it's wrong. I mean, think about it. There were students that couldn't afford their fees, they couldn't clear off their dues, which means they didn't get this piece of paper, they didn't get the roll number slip. And if you don't get the roll number slip, you've got two options. Option number one, you don't get a roll number slip, don't sit in the exam, semester wasted. Terrible thing to happen. Option number two, you didn't get your roll number slip, you still sit in the exam, hoping that nobody will find out that you haven't cleared all of your dues. And if somebody does find out, you have to face the embarrassment. Even more terrible than that. Both of these are things that nobody wants to go through, yet some of the students that couldn't clear all of their dues have to go through all of these things. That, my friends, is called forced manipulation. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It is when you force someone, manipulate someone to do something that they don't want to do, that you want them to do, and you do it without their consent. You make them do it forcefully. So blackmailing is one example of forced manipulation. Nobody wants to. Stupid like. Blackmailing is one example of a forced manipulation. Nobody wants to be forcefully, nobody wants to be blackmailed. I mean, somebody blackmails you, that person is basically you don't want to do anything with it, right? It's exactly the same with institutions, universities, businesses, anything that calls itself an organization, because all of these things have a personality, and if they use forced manipulation, they're basically personalities. I'm sorry if you found me cursing a bit harsh, but that's how I feel about this thing. So yeah, this was something that I had on my mind like for the past few days. I want to talk about it, and now it's with you guys. I hope you understand my perspective on the problem. Remember, I'm not advocating the fact that students shouldn't pay their money. They should, but the way that the universities acquire their money, that needs some work. If you're somebody from the university, think about that.